Well, ladies and gentlemen, my guest is tuned in, logged into my studio lines, and I'm super excited. Murikona kana chirungu chakuramba kubuda because ndiri kutaura nemunhu ari ku-UK. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you with an after 5 hearty welcome, Mr. Elliot Msindo.
Thank you so much. How are you?
Welcome, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Can you hear me?
You are loud and clear. And it is such an honor that we can host you right here on Zimbabwe's finest in Zimbabwean diaspora music. I mean, man, this is an honor. And just the fact that you tracked us down so that we can have this conversation. Elliot, chibotara shona pa mwauchagoni ka shona blast.
Aiwa ndiri mushona akakwana chaiyo ndotaura chezvira chaiyo.
Munobvepiko bambo?
Tiri paShurugwi apa.
Pashurugwi? That is kwana nhema uko.
Kwanhema chaiko ndokwatakakurira.
I want to note in that, and we would like to welcome you to Zimbabwe. I'm broadcasting live from Harare, and we have an amazing array of DJs who also present from multiple parts of the world, from Norway as well as Botswana. Unoziwa Janice?
Janice?
Umziwe Janice uyu msikana uyu wepa after 5 uyu umzi.
Aha, okay. Dai mama taura nesenemu ndandafunga kuti I was just wondering kuti which Janice.
Uriyo zveJanice apo paseri pako apa ku-UK hamugari pachiko here papa.
Tinotokumbirana so.
Well, indeed, once again, my brother, thank you. Today we're going to talk about a very important issue. You know, I was looking at your life story. And I was reminded a bit about my story as well. But, I felt a little bit envious of you because at least you actually got an opportunity to get to do the literature. And in high school, you always liked poetry. And I was listening to you and was wishing that poetry. But then you left after you got your degree and you traveled overseas where you are now resident. And I want us to start from a very important point. And I'm sorry I'm going to say this, Elliot, but it's important. I've heard, and I think this is key, I've heard that you should never waste a crisis. Neither should you ever waste a traumatic experience. And when you lost your mom, my brother, you went through a very difficult time. Tell us what happened. Elliot, are you there? Well, it looks like Elliot is somewhere. I can see him. He's still live with me, but I cannot hear him. Oh, there you are. Elliot,
can you hear me now?
Loud and clear, brother. Loud and clear.
Yes. So I was just saying, thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to talk to you about my work and my experiences. I think your question is very, very important. I'm just going to respond to it from a different perspective. I like the quote you started with. Because I think most people use their experiences to better other people's lives. But I've decided to use my experiences to actually make the best for other people as well. When I was growing up, I know I lost my mom when I was 17.
Right.
Which is quite a privilege in some way because others have not even had the opportunity to know their parents.
That's right.
So in that way, I would say I thank the Lord for the 17 years that I spent with my mom. Losing her at that age was particularly very, very painful because I was about to write my O-level. I was just maturing as a young boy, and I was so dependent on her for advice and all those things. So I would say it hit me hard. But when I was just looking at reflecting on my life, I didn't want to take it as a setback, but as an opportunity to motivate those who cannot have the strength to overcome such kind of situations.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the quotation that goes, every setback is a setup for a comeback?
Yes.
Powerful. So I hear you, and I love your view on that matter. But still on the subject matter, as much as you did that, you acknowledged, in our interaction, that you actually got depressed.
Yes.
Warume
Yes.
no depressed kere mkono.
That's actually a very important subject. I think we are brought up to be manly, and part of being manly is when you don't break down and you don't shed tears as a man. But I think it's very very important because we are human beings. One way or the other, we get hurt by what happens to us. That's why you see, if you look at the statistics in general, there are higher cases of suicide among men than women.
Are you serious?
Yes, because men tend to keep to themselves, and they don't want to discuss their issues. So that alone is a negative attitude that causes a lot of problems, even health wise.
And so you write a book, and this is the book we are profiling today, and it's entitled "I Fight Myself." Is that correct? Did I say that correctly?
I Fight Me.
I Fight Me. And I'm just looking at your book right now, my brother, and this is really amazing. That in my mind I'm thinking, but Elliot, chimrume chimdara chese chikete depressed. Ko mamba yange apere rakadi nungotora bhodhoroboro kamamba 102. And I see that in your book there is a poem that is called "The Bottle, My Friend." Tell me about that one.
Yes. I like the way you pointed that out. That I think as men sometimes we want to resort to drinking,
right,
to solve our problems. But the problem is even if you drink, the moment you get sober, the problems will still be there.
True.
So that's not a solution. So when I say the bottle, my friend, I was trying to look at the issue that when someone is going through a difficult time, drinking a lot is not the solution. And people look at those who drink as well and judge them for what they are doing or how they are behaving, not knowing what they went through, because not everyone is strong enough to cope. And not everyone has got support in place so that they can move on. So the poem looks at how someone who has gone through a difficult time is now resorting to drinking to solve the problems, and hoping to find some solution, but there was no one supporting the person. So at the end, they are saying being dead or alive is of little substance because it doesn't really mean anything to live or to.
Hi, Elliot, are you still there? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are hoping to.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now you're back, my brother. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was saying the poem looks at a person who is going through a difficult time and expecting to get support from somewhere, but because the support is not coming, the person just ends up saying being dead or alive is of little substance. So
in actual fact, Elliot, in Zim these days, kunenge saying inonzi kusiri kufa ndekupi.
Yeah, that's true, my brother. Apana kule kusiri kufa because there is no support in place.
Yeah.
So they take the bottle as a friend because no one else cares enough to give them a shoulder to cry on.
Now, I notice again in our interaction that you were able to bounce back to your feet primarily because of exactly what you're saying there, the power of support. But before we
Yeah.
even talk about that, why a title like that, Elliot? Tell me, I want to get into the mind of a poet. Why the title, I Fight Me?
Right. So the title itself, if you look at mental health, because professionally I work in mental health as well, so I've got a deeper understanding of different forms of mental health. Because if we're talking about mental health, the perspective that we look at in Zimbabwe, it's a bit different from the wider context, because normally munhu anonhonga chikafu mumabhini achidya achipfeka mamvemve ndiye watinoti benzi,
Right.
and that is the only aspect of mental health that is talked about. But the aspect of mental health affects almost everyone. If you look at statistics, they say 1 in every 3 people.
You remember statistics are to Nasika. I'm becoming very, 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 very suspicious. First, you say that there are more men who commit suicide. Now you're saying 1 in every 3 people has got a mental illness.
Yes,
Woo.
suffers from mental illness at one point or another.
That is high, Elliot.
Yes. So the reason is stress is categorized under mental health. So there's no one who says I don't get stressed. Even if you look at the richest people in the world, they also have their own stresses. So in the wider context of mental health, we are looking at issues like stress, we are looking at suicide, we are looking at depression, we are looking at the likes of schizophrenia, all those forms of mental health. So when I came up with the title, I Fight Me, I was looking at the battle that happens inside the mind of someone when they are going through a difficult time. Because, yeah, if you look at mental health, it's different from physical health.
Right.
Because if someone has a broken leg, you can really see that someone has a broken leg. But if someone is suffering from mental health, at times it's difficult to see that someone is depressed. So the battle that happens inside the mind of how to resolve the challenges and how difficult it is, that's when I came up with the title I Fight Me, to explore the issue of the struggle that happens inside one's mind when they are facing a difficult challenge.
So before we go to a quick musical break, and I want to play Yvonne's music. She was here as well, and she used music to help her go through her mental challenges, mental illness. I'm looking at some of your poems, my brother. And ndine mubvunzo nditenderawo kubvunzawo sezvo uri pano handidi kutsoti dai ndakamubvunza nditenderawo ndikubvunzawo mubvunzo Elliot. Msindo,
Vakasununguka baba, bvunzai.
izwai zvamunonyora. These are titles of your poems. Seeking Redemption, Troubled Waters, Fighting Myself, Take My Glasses, Can the Sun Finally Shine, Suicide, Resurrect, The Bottle, My Friend. Iwe shamwari hausina kuti nditoite stress here nematitle ako aya. Elliot?
I think if you look at the poems in depth, if you go through them, my exact point was to bring awareness of mental health to the people. That's why ndaita zvekunyora about the experiences of I would say what people go through, because as I was saying, like in Zimbabwe, there is a limited exposure to mental health. So I was trying to get into the mind of someone who is going through a difficult time, so that when someone reads my poem, they can acknowledge that, no, so if I'm going through this difficult thing, it means it's mental health.
Right.
Or if my brother is behaving this way, it means he needs support because he's going through a mental health crisis.
Right. Right.
Yes.
So after we come back, I want you to remind me, because because dzangu dzinombotachawo hainini ndobvuma hangu kuti tinombopota mafuse tinombodambuka. So when we come back, Elliot, from this song, I want you to remind me of a conversation I had with Janice wawati unopanana south nayo. So let's listen to this song, and I want you to recite the poem, if you don't mind. I Am Forgotten. So I'll tell you my story first, and then I'd like you to recite the poem I'm Forgotten. Is that okay?
Okay, that's fine. I'll definitely remind you.
All right, so let's play this song.
What did you do with the time that I gave you? What did you do with the life that I gave you? Did you discover the purpose I made you? Did you discover the dream that I gave you? How did you face the challenges before you? How did you overcome the obstacles ahead of you? Did you do all the things that I told you? Did you live in the way that I showed you? What did you do with the time that I gave you? What did you do with the life that I gave you? Did you discover the purpose I made you? Did you discover the dream that I gave you? How did you face the challenges before you? How did you overcome the obstacles ahead of you? Did you do all the things that I told you? Did you live in the way that I showed you? The days are evil, this world is evil. People can be evil, don't be used by day. Ninguna yako, uri kumatei, nema wako ako. Uchayendedi, kana wafa. Uchazoti, kuna mari. Acha kuvunza, naimwana, wakaitei, nenguma, yandakakuba. I'm here to warn you, time is running against you. Reading the days God gave you, reading the life God gave you. Remember that life is fragile. We are only here for a little while. One day we'll say our goodbye. One day we'll say our goodbye. I am here to warn you, time is running against you. Reading the days God gave you, reading the life God gave you. Remember that life is fragile. We are only here.
So, my brother Elliot, are you still online? Can you hear me? Hi, Elliot. All right, here we go. Elliot, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
So Elliot, I had a fight with my sister Yvonne. My sister Yvonne is the one who played that song, and she's based in Canada. And ndakamti Yvonne uri kuimba masong anoitsa kuti tifunge kuti tada kufa here. What were you trying to do? And it's the same thing that I'm saying to you. So here's the conversation. Yandakaita na Janice Nezuru.
Yeah.
So I called Janice up and I said, "Hey Jan, what's happening? I know as the radio coach, she's one of our presenters. I think it's important that sometimes we just get so overwhelmed with the mechanics of business. And let me just find out how you're doing, whatnot. Nogozwaka sa coach ka tinogona ngokanda masaso kuva namu softer Jenny. Jenny kuva afara manje." And then Janice then says to me, "Coach, thank you for your call. But how are you doing?" Zvakandibata unoziya kuti iya kuna mwatonewo basa neupenyu hwangu.
Yeah.
To say, and you know, sometimes we don't take time out, Elliot, to do exactly what Janice did to me yesterday. To forget kuti what can I get from Coach Taff? Arikudei ndio anoziwa zveningi ndiwe management whatever, and just take some time. I pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I just want to find out how you're doing." So please, what inspired Am I Forgotten?
It's a very, very important issue that you are raising, especially here in diaspora. I think people are so busy, they don't have time for each other. We can spend even half a year, 6 months without really seeing any close family member, even if they live not very far from us, because people are busy with their lives. So, but the poem "Am I Forgotten," I was mainly focusing on. It was a reminder of everyone who has got a parent, whether be it a foster parent, adoptive parents, or our biological parents, where I was writing it from a perspective of an old woman who is saying, "Am I forgotten by my own children? Or
Yes, yes, yes.
have my children abandoned me because I only see them once a year or hear from them once a year? I'm alone and I
Yes,
live a lonely life.
yes.
So am I forgotten?" So it was just a prompt for those who have got parents to say, do you still remember that you have got parents?
Yeah.
And are you doing anything for them, whether be it materially or just calling them to check up on them?
So Elliot, have you ever heard the song by Charlie K called Kumusha?
No, I haven't heard it before.
Well, I'm gonna play it to you for you
Uh,
after you've done the recital of that poem. Go for it.
okay. So the poem is entitled, "Am I Forgotten? Why am I alone? Am I forgotten? Why am I alone? Have I been abandoned? Am I not a mother? Where are my children? Am I not a father? They visit once a year like Christmas. Throughout the year, I'm left staring at the walls, talking to myself. My friends are long dead. My mobility has since vanished. They say I hallucinate, but what can an old woman do in this mansion except talking to herself? Who shall I tell about my long gone Eric? I stare at the photos day and night. My dear Eric, I no longer have anyone. I no longer have him or anyone else." That's the poem. Lala?
Wow, 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 wow. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Well, this is the song Kumusha, and I hope you enjoyed this dedication from me to you.
Thank you.
Sotichierera baba wakataura zvavo natakwa wakazapita mwanangu kumusha kumusha mwanangu toka kumusha kumusha
But wana Elliot muri kuregera kudzoka kumusha chimbonditaurirawo inini.
Toka rachidzoka is every year.
I mean, did you hear those powerful words? Almost like your poem. Rukitange Murima twins. Huh?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I heard the part where the song says, not even writing a letter.
Kana sha. Kana
Mm.
dora shamwar.
Yeah, but I just want to add to say that I think if you look at our parents, what counts most is the thought. Some people think sending a lot of money is what matters most, but it's not about the amount. It's about the effort that you have put. So even if you get $2,
Right.
as long as you send 50 cents to them, it shows that at least you know they are there and they exist. So I think that's what the drive is, so that we can encourage each other to remember our parents.
So, ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned in to After 5 Radio with yours truly, Coach Taff, the radio coach, and I am hosting a brother from another mother, Wejira, Wekwa Shurugwi, this way, and he's based in the United Kingdom. His name is Elliot Msindo, and I'm so excited. We're talking about his poetry and his journey to becoming a poet, and we're specifically looking at I Fight Me. I just had somebody call in just now and send a message to me, Elliot, and they said, you know what? Yeah, mental health, it's for real. It is for really. So as we continue, Elliot, I want to get to somewhere. And I love the fact that you are also a spoken word artist. But before we get to that conversation, I want to just go through a few more of your titles here. Tagumisira Pekuti, Am I Forgotten? The next one is A Friend to Defend, The Lonely Man, Is There Help, Anxiety, Forgetting My Past. Right. Yandiri kuda manje. I said I am fine. Zahasha ket.
Yeah, it's no cut.
So before we get to that poem, Elliot, where can people get a hold of your book, I Fight Me?
My book is available on Amazon. So that's the only platform where it's available for now. I published it through Amazon, and if you just go on Amazon, you can find my book.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
And while we're at it, can you give us your social media handles so that people wanoda kukubata wanozota wanokubata pa social media?
Okay, so my Facebook, I've got a Facebook page. It's Elliot Msindo, ELLIOT Msindo. It's MSINDO, the poet, Elliot Msindo, the poet, on Facebook. Then YouTube channel is the same, Elliot Msindo, the poet. Then I also have Twitter and Instagram at Elliot Msindo.
So Elliot, I need some help, brother. Pane mwe blazo andiri kutsvaga shaunandibatsirawo wena. Serious, totally serious, so totally serious. I think you know this brother. His name is Billy Chapata. Have you heard of him?
Billy Chapata?
Eh.
No, it's a new name.
Unazomu Gugula. He's another Zimbabwean poet who is doing the absolute most. You know, I'm so excited that After 5 started and we can now profile you guys because but now on After 5 we can share it with the rest of the world. And with that, please, can you tell us and recite that particular one? I said I am fine. Wakangosira kuti mani pamberi. I said I'm fine, money. So go for it, Elliot.
So the poem really is, as I told you before, that I work in the field of mental health. At times there are people who want to pretend that they are fine, especially men, because they've got that ego to say I can manage, even though one is not managing.
Right.
So the answer that you get if you say, "Oh, you don't look okay these days. Is everything okay?" Then they would say, "I am fine." Then if you meet the person again the following day and you say, "I'm not sure you are fine," that's when you get the answer, "I said I am fine."
Unawafundisa shona ekuti mani kumberi. So go ahead and read that one out for us.
Yeah. So the title is I Said I Am Fine. I told you that I'm fine. Yes, I did. But I'm not. Those tears that you saw me wiping away, you thought they were tears of joy, but they were not. The smile you were saying it's beautiful, it was just plastic. My mind is numb. It got overloaded a while ago. Like a computer, it crashed. Life's worries have overtaken me. I'm now older than my age. I told you that I'm happy, but I'm not. I probably told you stories about my past, but not all of them.
Eish. Regai tikuomberere maoko bambo. Mutupo chinyi.
Signor,
Signoro izwaiwo izwai.
thank you.
Signoro muri heavy. And as we continue, I mean, I was listening to those words. Those words are powerful. And I was thinking to myself, I've been there. Even though those daura, ndakatopinda patight mdara. Upenyu. Look, I always tell people, the late great Dr. Oliver Mtukudza ever taura, and my mother who used to say that, anzi namai yangu, unoziva tuku wakabva waimba wakati upenyu unenge vhiri rebhasikoro. Umwe musi rakaonekwa richiteremuka, rimwe musi rakaonekwa iro richikwira makata, rimwe musi rakaonekwa richipinda mumatope, umwe musi rakazoonekwa rakaponja. That is life. And you continue with your titles, crazy titles. What if ayomvunza unaonaka bayo hauna kupona. As a student of psychology myself and as a coach, anditombodi kuti vanhu vabvunze mubvunzo. What if? I mean, yeah, that's a hard one. Then you've got aging, live my life, a survivor, my baggage. I don't want you to read this one, but pane nyaya apa Elliot. Pane nyaya baggage. Unoziva nyaya baggage ma one unoziva.
Yeah.
What inspired you to write this one nyaya baggage?
I think the motivation behind the poem was trying to shift the attention of the reader to the future instead of the past.
Okay.
A lot of people are held back because of their baggages. What they went through and what they are still going through, or what they went through in the past, may have a significant impact on their present life and future.
Right.
So overwhelmed by all those things, they get the urge to go on or to move on with their lives is slowly dies because of their experiences.
Right.
Yeah. So that's where I was coming from.
Wow, and that's a really, really, really powerful statement. Kunono akawanda wane my issues and unozwaka dzimwe dzenguwa ka Elliot zvitori nane kuti ndirambe hangu ndiri bachelor. Listen to this one.
Yeah, she knows. Wow.
So that was Hilsey, and I'm still with Elliot Msindo. And Elliot, you can hear kuti song ye inonzi bachelor. Have you heard this song before? Ku UK yakasvika here ku UK uku.
Yakasvika chaizvo.
Unoona kuti vanhu vanenge vachiimba on the basis of baggage. Vanhu vakatakura mudhara, vanhu vakatakura vachifamba umu.
Vane mukwende.
Vanobatsirwa sei? You are in the mental health fraternity. How do we help people, bro?
I think each situation is different because individual experiences are different. But mainly, I think it's the issue of seeking support, professional support like counseling. The issue of also looking at religion, praying,
right,
and finding support from those who have got experience, because the common saying that no man is an island,
right,
it means you can't survive without support from others. So it's better to approach others and say, no, I'm going through a difficult time.
Right.
How best can I be helped?
So you talk in our conversations that you also got a lot of support. I did say I would come back to it. I'm glad I remembered. What sort of support did you get as you went through your mental challenges?
I got emotional support because I think with mental health it depends on what kind, but mainly mine I required that emotional support. So I was blessed enough to have friends of my age who really understood my situation, and because some of them attended the burial of my mom, so
Right.
they could really relate to how I was feeling and what I was going through. So I got that support from teachers as well, because where I was, it's my rural home is just 2 kilometers from from the school where I was attending.
Right.
So that support from school, then support from my siblings, my
Right.
brothers and my sister.
Right.
Yes.
So I was very interested after the 1 year my baggage. Wavapinda kuna Bob Marley Blaz. Mental slavery. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves. Let me not sing. I'm supposed to just play music. Get free our minds. Woo! Have no fear for atomic energy. I must get permission from my boss, Anderson, to play that song. But mental slavery,
Yeah.
because we become enslaved by the things that we've spoken to ourselves. And those things then begin to limit us from going to the next step. Brother, can I preach about mental slavery now? Then the next one is no more. Then I love you now. Brother yangu. Wakufamba nini. At least you have a chapter in your book yakanzi hope. Nandakukuchikira Elliot.
You are tired of the depressing stuff.
Nandakukuchikira kuti Elliot book it. And then you've got Daybreak is coming soon after that. I want to hear that one. Have you got it close by so you can read that one out for us?
Which one? Daybreak is coming.
Yes, please, because I need a daybreak, man. I need the sun to kiss my cheek, brother, because daybreak is coming.
All right. So the title is Daybreak is Coming.
Go for it.
As shadows deepen and darkness overtakes light, the heart grows numb. It is a lonely world. Strength to carry on seeps away through the sand. When troubles overwhelm the soul, friends fly away like a flock of birds. Even though the mind is burdened, there should be a way to rise up and face tomorrow, to fight like a buffalo. It is nighttime for now, but daybreak is lining itself up. Tomorrow is another day.
Come on now. And indeed, tomorrow is another day.
So that's a bit of a positive one.
Yes, indeed. And you know what? We've had so much fun. Let me recite these quickly. Then the next one is my pain. Wadzoka foot. Elliot Shaw. My pain. What do I want? Accompany me to my deathbed. Depression. How are you better? And then there's another one that is called Jim. Is that correct?
With oh yeah, Jim. Yes.
All right. So I'll skip that one. Then life's tempests. Life's tempests. What were you talking about in that poem?
It's just talking about the challenges that we face, and the struggle that we go through to cope with the challenges. So the tempests represent the challenges that we face.
I hear you. And then after that there is aporota zakuita spelling here. Apana chiperengo chakashaishwa here. Living pain.
No, it's very correct.
That means pain is alive and well. It's not Leave. It's Live. Live, like it's alive.
Yes. So it's a pain that is alive.
All right.
Yes, and it's a poem where I was talking about someone who lost a loved one, and as a result, failure to cope They are now having mental health challenges because of failure to cope. I was looking at loss,
Right.
bereavement, and loss. Yeah.
Right. Wow. Okay. And so, and then we continue because our time is running out. Would you believe it? I've got another brother who's calling in just now. I hope you can stay tuned in. Kuri kwaudzere ku-UK kuti kune After 5 radio.
Ndiri kuvaudza.
Unawataurira kuti mazimbo aya atanga futi akuenda global and ari kuconcentrata neZimbabwean diaspora music. Ndozvatiri kuita pano pa After 5 radio. Then after Living Pain, I love that one. Freedom is coming tomorrow. You've got freedom. That's a powerful one. I love that one. Carry them over. A broken soul. Looking back. The wrong pot. Watanga Elliot. They be wrong pot, Elliot. Talk to me, Elliot. Talk to me, brother.
So it was just looking. I was just looking at how we make choices at times.
Yeah.
So sometimes the choices that we make may affect our mental health.
Yeah.
So if we choose the wrong pot,
yeah,
and drink from a wrong pot,
right,
it may result in the devastating effects that affect our mental health.
I see.
Yes.
All right. I see the one that I want you to read, your last poem. I found it. But let me go through the rest of them. Wrong pot, the little bird, tormented soul, wrong route, hot and cold.
Wrong route, yes.
Yeah, somewhere. That not jump and not wearing. Tired heart, is there new hope? I'm talking to you. What do you see? It's almost dawn. Mental impasse. I need not a referee. Well done, my brother. Now, the last one before we say goodbye is I want you to read this one. It says, Dear Past. Come on, brother. Read that one out for me.
Dear Past, let me look at it.
This is fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are live and broadcasting from Harare, connected to the United Kingdom through a platform called After 5 Radio. And this is really fun. Later on, or in 10 minutes' time, Iwai Nashe Ernest is going to be joining me all the way from No, he's not in Johannesburg. He's in Pretoria. And he's also he's launching, would you believe it, Elliot? He's launching his books right here on After 5 Radio. So I hope you can stay tuned, Umbo Moons. But this guy is also a DJ at a campus station in Pretoria. So big things are going from Zimbos all over the world. Makes us very proud.
Oh, wow. That's impressive.
Absolutely. So go for it, that poem.
Okay. Dear Past, I am now walking into the future.
Come on.
And leaving you behind.
Yes.
How can I delete you and never remember of your existence? A cancer eating me slowly and inflaming my bones. Denying me a decent sleep. Exaggerating my appetite. Shutting me inside for years. Telling everyone that I was fine. Knowing fully well that I'm crumbling down like a damp slice of bread. Now, dear Past, be dead and buried.
Come on. Mira, Elliot. Ndapada ipapo, mira niborizeka hone, niboraza ndafara say, my God. Mudzokororo mune simba bambo. Sorry, I'm sorry to our listeners, but I can't help it. I have some past I must write to. Sorry, Elliot, but that was... Please pick it up from where I disturbed you. I'm so sorry.
Okay, right. It says, now, dear Past, be dead and buried, and leave me alone to shape a better future with a clear mind.
Wow. So indeed, ngadzi wigwe dzinonzi pasi ngadzigare ikoko ngadzibvirofushirwe hatitombodidziona ba. Man, I'm so delighted that you could come on. You won't believe it. We've already done 52 minutes. And we could have gone for another 2 hours, bro. This is really cool. So before I play a song that you know but don't know the title, I want you to say a few words to to whoever you choose and a message about mental health.
I would like to thank you so much for inviting me to this platform to discuss mental health. And I want to encourage everyone to seek help before we make any decisions that we may regret in the future. Support is always there. Find someone you trust and talk to them about whatever you'll be going through. If you can't talk to someone, please try to read material to do with mental health. There's a lot of support out there. Thank you so much. Shout out to my DJ.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes. That's Coach Tap, your DJ. So tell me, before you go, one more time, Elliot, please can you give us your handles?
So on Facebook, it's Elliot Msindo the Poet, and YouTube channel, Elliot Msindo the Poet. Elliot is ELLIOT, Msindo, MSINDO. Then on Instagram, it's Elliot Msindo. At Twitter, at Msindo.
All right. So once again, our one of our presenters is with you there in the United Kingdom. Her name is Janice, and she goes by the stage name Janice Diaries. If you can look for her on Instagram, you will find her. So please, when you do get an opportunity, just DM her and tell her you finally met her crazy coach. But we want to thank you so much, Elliot, for joining us on After 5.
Thank you so much.
So before you go, I want to play a song for you that I'm praying is going to make you homesick, okay? This song is called Distant Lover. I don't know if you know Zaron's Louis Mkhanga. Have you ever heard of Louis Mkhanga?
Yes.
I think you know this song. So as I say goodbye to you, here's a song that makes your heart go fond. Here we go. Goodbye, Elliot. God bless you and take care.
Thank you. Bye.